This is hard. Nah, like they really thought I lost myself. Like no calls, no texts, just me, like in this place, this dark place. So much happened in such a short period of time. Like this is hard. This is hard to talk about. Like just breathe. Hey ladies, it's your girl Truly Inspired Martin, and baby, we are back and better than ever every Thursday, 7 a.m. Catch us on every podcast platform. And I know you've been out here working on you. I see you, girl, doing what you do. But guess what? The journey continues. So if you are truly ready to go from BS to success, welcome back to the Recrown You podcast. Everybody wants to be, but nobody wants to do. Girl, it's time to be real, raw, and relentless. Everybody wants to be, but nobody wants to do. You know it's time. Recrown you. Hey ladies, it's your girl Truly Inspired Martin, and welcome to the Recrown You podcast. You're not here by chance. You're here because you don't want no more fluff. You're done with the bullshit and you're ready to get the life that you desire and you deserve. We are here to help you to restore, reset, and reclaim your life so that you can amplify your emotional intelligence and become more self-aware. Listen, we're here to equip and empower. Baby, the rest is on you. Let's get it. Today's episode is sponsored by The Lit Experience, a private mastermind for women just like you. Yep, you the woman that want to unleash your inner badass in all areas of your life. If you are a woman that is looking for connection, collaboration, and community, baby, you are in the right place. These are quarterly events that happen across the United States. If you are ready to be a part of the Lit movement, go ahead and head on over to www.itstrulyinspiredmartin.com/events. All this information will be listed for you below. Enjoy. What's up, Truly Inspired Tribe? It's your girl, Truly Inspired Martin. And I need y'all to help me out on that, right? Let's start off rip. Truly Inspired Tribe. How do y'all feel about that? Somebody said that for short, that would say tit. How y'all feel about being called tit? I don't know. It's just not sitting right with me. I kind of like calling y'all either my gems or my baddies. And before you get the word baddie all confused, right? Baddie is short for badass. And if y'all know what you know, then you know that everything here is all things unleashing your inner badass, right? It's about BS to success. It's about embracing who you are, showing up every day as the woman that you are meant to be. And baby, around here, we are real, we are raw, we are relentless, we are resilient, we are resourceful, and that's a badass, okay? So let's go ahead and reframe your thinking on that off rip. But definitely gonna put a poll up on the page because I need to know what y'all want to be called, right? I don't want to just be out here just calling y'all names that you don't want to answer to. Hello, that's a message. Whew, that's another message for another moment. But I really want to know, how do y'all feel about Truly Inspired Tribe, tit? Or how do you feel about the gems or baddies? I really like baddies because it really stands for something in there. But I'm going to let the people choose because y'all matter. But what's up, guys? Y'all already know who this is. It's your girl, Dana, Truly Inspired Martin. Your girl has been in hiding. In hiding. That's what I was told. I've been in hiding, right? But no longer shall I sit in hiding because it's time to talk about the real. I've been missing y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you up, right? I've been missing y'all. I've been getting all y'all messages, all the DMs, the emails, the what's good with the podcast, sis? Yeah. I already know. I done heard it. Done what Shorty Law say? Done heard it all, done it all, right? So I already know how y'all feel, and I appreciate the love and the push, right? But I think we gotta talk about the reasons why. the reasons why things are the way they are, the reasons why things happen the way they do, right? In order to understand, right, the basis of that emotional intelligence piece, there's one key one that I focus on a lot, and that's self awareness, right? Understanding and knowing who you are, why things are the way they are, how they trigger you, right? Being aware of self, being aware of how you're feeling. A lot of people that know me or talk to me on a regular basis and or don't talk to me on a regular basis, if they're going through something, I always say it is okay to feel the way that you feel. I want you to feel that, embrace that, understand that, process that however you must, because sometimes it's so easy to just sweep everything under the rug and you're just like, I did what I did. I went through what I went through. Dust myself off and try again. And I definitely want you to dust yourself off and try again, but I want you to understand what that dust is. What is your dust, right? If you're dusting yourself off, there's something on you. So, what are you dusting off of you? In order to really understand what that dust looks like, you have to be willing to take what I call the journey of self reflection, the journey of self awareness, the journey of understanding your emotions in that moment. And they're valid. I don't give a damn what nobody say. They're valid. If you want to cry, cry. If you're hurting, feel that emotion. Write it out. Talk to someone. Do something. Because it's easy to just stay trapped inside of self. Trust me, girl. I know. I definitely know this for a fact because your girl was going through it. Okay. I know y'all heard that little trailer in the beginning. All right. Like, that was real talk. Like, a real talk. I was having a conversation with someone and, like, I really lost myself. Like, people were really trying to understand what happened. Like, a lot of the people that were close to me, they also were like, this is unlike her. Right? You got those people that were pushing the needle, like, nah, something's off about her. I gotta check in, right? They always say check on the strong friend. I've always been considered a strong friend. And I see that sometimes in real life, in real time, the strong friend needs a strong girlfriend, or the strong friend just needs a friend, right? But on top of just being the strong friend that needs a friend, every friend needs a friend. Every person needs somebody. I don't care how you try to frame it, everybody needs somebody. You need somebody you can talk to. You need somebody you can build with. You need someone that you can process your stuff with. And that was me. So, you ever just had so much happen in like a short period of time and you don't even have the capacity to process it accordingly, right? Like, you feel like shit is just hitting the fan every which way. And you got like 6 fans up blowing shit around, but they all just blowing back at each other. And literally shit is sticking to the fan. That's how I felt for the top of this whole entire year. Like the first maybe 5, 6 months, somewhere around there. And even some of last year. It's a lot to process when there's a lot of transitions happening, when your world is shook up, when your health is wrong or off, right? There's a lot of things that you have to really try to figure out. And sometimes you can't figure it out when you're inside of it. So, just to put some of this into context, because we don't really dive deep like we should into things like anxiety, depression, ADHD, those things that really like just shift you up a little bit. And truth be told, I deal with all 3 of those, right? So we're in the month of survivors, and I'm celebrating survivors all month because, as many know the story, and if you're new to me, which many are, I'm a 2-time domestic violence and suicide survivor. So shout out to my survivors. And as we dive deeper into my life and my story, and if you have the book Recrown You, then you know a lot of this stuff as well. Life will life if you let it, right? Life will life. And regardless of how we look at it, life's going life anyway. But it's what you do in those moments that matter. So, one of the things for me about being self-aware was realizing that in that moment, I was no good to anybody else. I was no good to speak up for myself. I was no good to be there in any capacity for anybody. And it wasn't just friends, family was shut out too, right? I was dealing with some dark things within me and within that time, and not realizing like what is going on. It got so bad to the point where I was realizing like I need to probably talk to a therapist. I need to go to my doctor. I don't know what's going on with me. I felt so shook up, randomly crying in dark rooms, like not having any interest in doing the things that make truly inspired. I was uninspired as fuck. Like, truth be told, uninspired, right? But me understanding, me being able to be on the outside now looking in, there was so many transitions going on mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, right? So many things going on so many levels that I did not get the opportunity to process and take in, right? And understanding some of those things, I will, because we raw around here. House flooded in December, right? While I was in Mexico living my best life for my birthday. Whoop whoop. We was in Tulum, baby, living it up. We get a video from our maintenance people like, hey, your whole roof caved in on your townhome and everything's flooded. So much damage. And we're sitting in Tulum wondering where are we going back home to, right? That was one part. I just got married the month before. That was an amazing occasion. Got everybody together, but the toll that that wedding took on me for all that time of planning and getting things together and dealing with other people's emotions about stuff and trying to process where my friendships are and my relationships are and trying to understand myself, dealing with body dysmorphia, right? After surgery. That's another episode. We'll talk about that another time. Like, just a lot of things. And I actually had like another surgery last year that some people do and do not know, to remove a lump that was under my breast. Like, a lot happened. And there's a lot more things in there that I could talk about. But just to give you just a gist of when shit hits the fan, what now? Like, what do you do? And for me, it was just so much in such a little time, right? And to throw a little extra in there, just so that you guys can really understand the weight, my job was on the line, right? Like, if you're out in the corporate world, because I always consider myself a corporate newer, corporate newer, whatever you want to call it, right? Like a workpreneur. Like, I love a good company to work for that gives me the flexibility for work life balance and gives me the opportunity to be remote. But also, I love entrepreneurship. It's in my veins, it's in my blood. Like, I grew up around it with my dad, like things like that. Like, I thrive in that arena. I mean, I even received an award for it in like 2018, I think it was, for Young Entrepreneur of the Year. Like, these are things that I love, that balance, right? But during the midst of all of these other things happening, health wise, uh, home wise, like just all these shifts in my atmosphere, I also had to deal with my job is on the line. Y'all know big tech got hit real hard, and I was a part of a big tech company. And they got really hit really hard. And I was able to dodge like 2 rounds of layoffs. So I'm like, oh, snap, maybe I'm good. But nope, third round, I was one of the 18,000 people that were let go. And I don't even have to name the company. If you know, you know, right? But I was one of those people that were let go. And truth be told, I loved my job, loved the people that I worked with, loved the autonomy that I had. Like, I was actually in process for so many different things, right? Um, Different promotions I was trying to, work towards, different projects I was moving over to, interviewing for other like side projects, like, short term opportunities. Like, it was just so much going on. Just got a raise. Hello. Like, all of these things just took place, and then boom, gone out of nowhere. So imagine trying to process all these different things in a very short time period, and you're trying to understand, like, okay, what now? How do I deal with this? But here's one thing that a lot of us don't realize. Although I was going through these emotions and going through these feelings of depression, high anxiety, like there's moments now that I have very, very high anxiety. Things just, it really just throws me off, right? And that's something that runs in my family. So that's something that I probably need to look into as well. But at the moment, there's no need for any controlled substances in there, according to the doctors. But it's the doctors that I want to touch on right now. One of the things that I was realizing was this was starting to feel so out of control. I was so outside of myself, right? I remember saying to my husband, like, I don't feel like myself. Like, I feel like I'm on the outside looking in at myself, and I want to slap the shit out of myself. Like, get it together. Like, get your stuff together. And that's how I just felt from the outside looking in. I could not snap myself out of it. So I'm like, okay, maybe I need to see therapists again. Maybe, and I love therapy. I'm an advocate for therapy, but maybe I need a new therapist. I need to find one that I rock with, because my last therapist failed me. But that's also another episode, another day. I think we should bring on a therapist for that, to talk about finding the right therapist and how those relationships are so delicate. And if they don't uphold their side, it's really counterproductive. But that's neither here nor there. I started thinking about maybe I need to go back to a therapist and talk through this thing, or, go to a doctor, find out what's going on. So what I ended up doing, because I had a friend tell me something about um, some stuff they were dealing with, and it sounded so similar. And they were like, yeah, I went to like a naturopathic type of clinic doctor, and I got all these different answers, but it was about something completely different. They actually were on a different path, right, for what they were trying to achieve. But for me, I just want my life back. I don't understand what's going on. Somebody help. So I go to the clinic. I tell them about what I'm dealing with. I tell them about, how everything just has been feeling so off, how I'm crying, how I'm stressed. I'm, not really wanting to eat, or if I do eat, then I'm like, give me everything. Like, I want salty, I want crunchy, I want hard, I want soft. Like, all these foods have different connections to different emotions as well. Um, and I'm telling them all these different things. And they were like, let's do some blood work on you. And I'm looking like, okay, blood work for what? Like, what is that going to determine? Because I know, like, the normal blood work they normally do. And they were like, no, we're going to do a deeper panel, right? We're going to do a panel that checks your hormones and checks your iron levels and checks like your thyroid and checks all these different things that normal blood, like your routine test that your doctors give you, they don't check for it, like, because it's not normal routine stuff all the time. Like, this was a very extensive test of everything, like everything. Like, it was like the list was so long. I was like, oh my god, they're checking for your thyroid, they're checking for Graves, they're checking for gout, they're checking for whatever, right? So I'm used to getting routine blood work because I am technically type 2 diabetic, but it's controlled. Like, I haven't been above like a 5.4 in few years. So it's controlled on that aspect. The high blood pressure, though, absolutely. Like, we can't figure out what's going on there. I actually have a story about that too. This all ties back to one thing. All these emotions I was feeling, all these headaches I'm having, I'm just all over the place. Like, Dana, get it together. So we do this blood work, right? Few days, maybe a week later, blood work comes back. And here goes some answers. They realized that my hormones were all over the place, which can essentially cause high anxiety, high levels of depression, even suicide ideations, and so much more, right? They determined that my testosterone levels were bottomed out. Yes, ladies, our testosterone levels matter for us as well. And they saw like what is it? Like pronagalone, progesterone. It's so many words. I'd have to like go through the whole test with y'all, right? But all these were just all out of whack. All my hormones just out of whack. All my numbers all over the place with different things like vitamin D, which you normally get when you're out in the sun more. And a lot of us have been working from home or been inside, so you're not really getting a sufficient amount of it direct sunlight. So you have to supplement that with supplements. Potassium levels low, that can cause your heart rate to increase, right? It can cause that what do you call it? Jesus. Rapid heart rate, right? There's a word for it. One of y'all tell me. I can't remember right now, right? But so many different things that can cause, right? Every cause has an effect, right? So if these are the reasons, then this is why I'm feeling this way. So how do we remedy this, right? So they started putting me on all these natural I think it's like molecular level vitamin supplement type things, pronagalone and True Adapt and all these things to kind of regulate my testosterone levels and just get my hormones in check. When I tell you, about 15, 30 days later, I started feeling so different. Like I started feeling like I was coming back to myself. Started feeling like, oh snap, is this how I've been living? Is this how I've been feeling? Like, what is going on? But another part to that is the headaches was not stopping. And, they would look at my blood pressure. Sometimes it would be like really good, for the most part, really good for me. So it would be like 130 over 90, or every now and then you'll get a 120 something over 100 or over 90 something, or, you know, blood pressure wasn't super crazy. But then at one point, it had gotten so high out of nowhere. We still don't understand to this day how it just jumped up like that. But it had gotten to like 200 over like 140, like something crazy. They had to call the ambulance at the clinic I was at. Called the ambulance. Ambulance took me to the hospital. It was bad. Okay. So they ended up giving me, some medication there and also gave me something to bring my anxiety down. I think it was called like Ativan or something. Nothing I would take on a regular basis. But they gave me medication. They kept trying to bring my blood pressure down. It was just so resistant. They were doing everything, EKGs. They were shooting something in the IV, like really trying to bring it down. And I think their last um little thing that they did was a nitroglyceride tablet, I think. And my husband was like, yeah, they use that to make bombs or something. He said something like that. I'm like, the hell would they put that in my body for? But in small doses, it helps with your heart rate and your blood pressure. And that was like the only thing that brought it down at that moment. But essentially, I was told to do a sleep study because the headaches and everything, like my blood pressure has been resistant for like a decade, right? I remember I got diagnosed with high blood pressure like the day after I graduated from Clark Atlanta University. Like, I was like, it was almost like, is this my graduation gift? Like, congratulations. Here's high blood pressure. Like, come on, bro. But for the last decade, it's been like that. So we did a sleep study. And drum roll, please. The study shows that I have moderate obstructive sleep apnea. Like, bing, 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 bing. And for a lot of you that don't know or don't understand um, what that means, because I was kind of in that place of like, what the hell is sleep apnea anyway? Like, I knew what it kind of was, but not so much how the effects can really like be like crazy, right? So sleep apnea is potentially a serious sleep disorder in which breathing repeatedly stops and starts when you're sleeping. And it's crazy because I can't remember the exact statistics, the numbers on it, but more than half of Americans have sleep apnea and don't know it. Which is crazy because you never know just how good sleep is until you get some real sleep. Like, I ain't even gonna hold you up. I was like, I am not like y'all. Okay, thanks for the diagnosis, but I ain't about to do nothing about this, right? Like that's how I was feeling. Like I'm not about to be wearing no mask and doing da 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 da. Listen, baby, my husband don't care. I don't care. What I do care about is getting the best quality of life. And when I tell you, after about 2 weeks, I started to feel a difference. The headaches were diminishing. My overall mood was feeling better because sleep affects your mood. Lack of sleep can also cause depression. It can cause anxiety, right? It can cause the rapid heart rate. It can cause resistant blood pressure. It can cause all types of stuff. And sometimes we're just so unaware of these things, right? So, another thing that can contribute to having sleep apnea, it's not a lot of people always say, oh, only heavy set people or bigger people are the only ones that have sleep apnea. That is actually quite false, right? It can come from so many different things. Just like diabetes does not only go to people that are overweight. There are people that are way below their weight and can still be type 2 or type 1. So let's make sure that we do our research before we just assume. All right. But a lot of things can be a contributing factor. Obesity is indeed one of them. And I've seen it where people have lost, 20 to 30% of their body weight, and their sleep apnea has either gone away completely or has minimized excessively, right? Um, Hormone levels, like changes in your hormone levels can increase your sleep apnea. Hello, remember I just told y'all about the hormones. Large tonsils, like if you never got your tonsils removed as a kid, guilty. Okay, that's a whole nother story for another day too. Me and my mom can tell you some stories about that tonsil issue that I had when I was a kid, and that there's a story as to why those were not removed, right? And just a lot of different factors, right? Like the way you eat can affect the way your sleep works and all that good stuff. They say that there's different ways to reverse sleep apnea, like losing weight if you're excessively obese, exercising because it just increases the heart rate when you're sleeping, which makes the blood flow better, which sometimes opens up those airways and things like that. Not sleeping on your back can help. Sleep on your sides and on your stomach sometimes. Everybody's different. Lowering like alcohol usage, sleeping pills. Like there's so many different things, right? Just things that help keep your nasal passages or your airways open can really help you with those things. But I'm saying all of this to say that your health can tie back to a lot of the ways that you feel, right? Circling right back to self awareness, right? Understanding that you are not okay and that is okay. It's okay to not be okay, right? But it's the realization in that. It's being proactive in that, right? In my case, I was going through, I feel like, a fight with self. Like I was so unable to fight back. And when you get to a place like that, that means you've been fighting back for quite some time and you're just in a place now that you're just giving in. I don't want you to get to that place. I want you to be aware earlier, right? Because I knew some of this stuff was off for quite some time. But when you're somebody like me that's always in go, 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 go mode, it's easy to just keep stuff pushing, right? You're used to being the person that's always on the go. You're used to being the person that never lets up, that, you're not going to let nothing stop you. Life is going to happen, but you're going to keep it pushing. You're used to being that person. But sometimes you have to just breathe. Like, just let that sit. Sometimes you have to just breathe. You have to take that moment for self and understand, who am I in this moment? Where am I? What is going on? Am I okay? Am I okay? Like, ask yourself that. It's so easy to just keep going that you're not even realizing that something's off. You felt that pain in your lower back 3 weeks ago, but you're just ignoring it because you're on go. You felt that chest pain, right? You've been feeling like your emotions are all over the place. You've been feeling like you just can't do it anymore. You've been feeling like life is truly lifing, but you're not taking a moment to process what the hell is going on. This is your moment right now. Like, I'm a dead ass stay quiet for a second because I need you to take this time right here, right now, to process whatever it is that you've been holding back from. You're allowing it to just take over. You're allowing it to just let it is what it is. But what if you actually paid attention? What if you actually tuned into self? What would happen? What would happen if you did what your body is telling you to do? We don't pay attention and we're dying earlier, right? We don't pay attention and we're hurting in massive amounts, right? Because we good. I am the master of saying, I'm good. Yeah, I got this. I'm good. But it takes a stronger person to say, I am not okay. And within realizing that you're not okay, there's peace in that. Because if you can't keep it real with self, who you going to keep it real with? Some of us pride ourselves on, I'm a realist. I know what I'm doing. I got this. We pride ourselves on that. We pride ourselves on wearing this superwoman cape every damn day. But it's okay to put it down. It's okay to set it aside. That don't mean that you ain't still a superhero, mama. You are. But superheroes can have several different superpowers. And one of yours can be self-awareness. One of yours can be the ability to understand self. One of those can be, I know when I know. And I know right now I am not okay. So if you're that woman, like me, that feels so off, or you felt off and you probably done ignored it and everything kind of just went back to normal now, but you still don't understand what that period was, there's still time to figure it out. There's still time to ask questions. There's still time to see a therapist. There's still time to see a doctor. There's still time to sit down in the silence of it all. In the silence of it all. And figure out exactly, what do I need? What do I need? Now, remember I told you, because I'm still kind of stuck on baddies. My badass women, baby, you are relentless, right? So you're relentless in the pursuit to unleashing your inner badass. And a part of unleashing that woman is by knowing her. Not just knowing her by name, knowing her by her quirks, knowing her by her ups, by her downs, by her feelings, by her every being. You can only know thyself if you actually pursue the journey to self-discovery. Yeah, you relentless, baby. Yes, you're resilient, because you're going to snap back from any smackdown that comes at you. But I need you to also be resourceful. And being resourceful means I'm looking up stuff because I know something's not right. Being resourceful means I'm asking for help. Being resourceful means, as the Bible says, seek physician. You're only human after all. And that's okay. And I hope that you take peace in knowing that that's okay. It's okay to deal with things that life throws at you, right? It's okay to not be okay. And I know you've probably heard that a million and one times. But I think we come from a society of go, go, go and popcorn culture, right? You want it microwave fast. And we come from a lot of backgrounds and households where we saw our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunts, our cousins, our best friends, what have you, never break. They keep going. They fight like hell every day. And you ain't never seen them break. You ain't never seen them hurt. You've never seen them cry. You've never seen them go through anything. Therefore, you feel that if you sit and become what you are feeling, that in some way, some shape, some form, you are weak. No, Ma. The real weakness is not dealing with your shit. So I challenge you on this day to go all in on you, whatever that looks like. Journaling, therapy, work it out. See a doctor. Get those blood work done that you've been putting off. Get the blood work done, sis. Like, focus on you. You can't focus on your kids. You can't focus on your family. You can't focus on your man. You can't focus on your girl. You can't focus on none of that until you right. I think Lauryn Hill said it best, baby. How you gonna win if you ain't right within? And I'm gonna leave that there. But I'm so happy that you guys have rejoined me on this journey. Recrown You is here, baby. We back. We better than ever. Your girl is feeling great, feeling good, like I should. And I am excited for what is to come. Y'all know we bringing the guests back. Y'all know it's about to be a vibe. And we definitely about to start incorporating some video in here. So I'm excited about just where we're going with this and where I am now in life. And now I can take everything that I've gone through in the past 2 years and give you what you need. And that right there, that's some truly badass shit. So yeah, tell your homegirls to lock in. Y'all go ahead and make sure that y'all following us on all platforms that podcasts play on. And if you're trying to get on the podcast, go ahead and send an email to recrownyoupodcast@gmail.com so that we can get introduced to you and see how we can partner together to make it do what it does. You can also visit www.recrownyoupodcast.com. Become a part of the truly inspired tribe across the United States that is tuning in every week for the podcast, because it's about to be a vibe. All right. I'm excited. We got things coming up, merch coming out, things that you do not want to miss. But don't forget to let me know. Y'all feeling truly inspired tribe, baddies, gems, get it? Gems, crowns on the gem. Okay. Y'all figure it out. Okay. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm gonna catch y'all next time. Y'all know what it is.
You know it's time.